Good evening. It's much later than I intended to be downstairs. Bought a quad. It's been over a year since, mind you, take a look at the mess. The mess. It's got to stop there. Don't look. It's been about a year. Nothing's really been out that I've been wanting to jump all over, and I've said it before that I love analog and I will always fly analog, but it's kind of switched to keeping it whoops and in the yard. And where's my other stuff? Things that don't need to be as complicated, like the tiny whoop, pearl here. I can put my Insta on, which will do a little yard surfing and stuff like that. And Sinister, which has gotten a crazy makeover. Oh, hold on a second here. There we go. That'll stay analog again, and this one can carry. But not to do any real range, bandos type stuff. Oh, there's Chet's whoop. I was looking for that. ADD. Kind of gearing away and kind of pushed back quite a bit from the 5-inch, even though that's all I've been doing on the Sims. Talking to Chet about that one possibly, and then I haven't used the Hero 10 Bones in quite some time, and that thing's literally got like 5 flights on it, and I think I'm going to sell it, or attempt to. Anyway, me being cinematic, me loving to make that killer shot, wanted something that I could fly through the woods, see all the branches, but not be bound by the Avata, where you've got the stupid sensors and all that crazy stuff. That one I'll fly farther away, and the return to home is great. Not that I use it much. Or you fly places like that, one of my favorite bandos, where at any given time, boom. But with that said, this is the flylens 85. I've watched a lot of reviews and waited to get my hands on one. And I have it here, and it is flying. That was an interesting process. It's been a while since I've really had to sit down and set up a quad and something different other than what I've been used to, and this was considerably different. Got it set up on Betaflight really easy, really quick. Had it kind of in the air and moving around and stuff, and then I said to go back and tune it. It was getting the O3 air unit to talk to my goggles and knowing the menus. After all said and done, and firmwares and all these crazy things, you can go in there and change from the FPV drone to the Avata, and then the O3 air unit pops up. And boom, figured it all out. Got it bound, started ripping around the basement and spent a solid hour basically tuning it in the basement because I'm using the DJI controller because I want the range and the penetration that comes with that. So sticks are shorter, a lot different than I'm used to with my big full-size controller. So I did a little bit of tuning, a lot of tuning, and got it where I think it should be. We'll find out tomorrow. I put the newest version of Betaflight, which I haven't updated that in years, onto the PC. And there, the DJI Assistant, the consumer one for both. So if I'm portable or here, so I'm kind of just upgrading and getting things where I need to be. I'm using the factory case, charging batteries. Speaking of that, So I'm going to bring this with me tomorrow. We are going on an adventure to a new place somewhere in northern Mass area. And it's going to be super, super exciting. But first thoughts with this is I'm really impressed. If you wanted a really peppy, fast quad, and I'm not going to say a drone because it doesn't have GPS and all that fun stuff, it rips. The settings like sort of really high, and it's really agile and bouncy. And that's not what I'm going to use this for. I'll fly it in acro and get my shots. But if you've seen the way that I fly, it's very methodical and picking my lines and stuff. And I try not to be jittery and stuff like that. So this quad is going to serve a great purpose. Oh, I'm going to put something else in there. This is going to be great. I'm very happy. As for people who are out there and debating in batteries, I bought a Race Day Quads 720, a G&B 720, and a Race Day 850. The two 720s fit in here as good as my finger does, nice and snug, without any real push to get it in there. The 850 does, you just kind of line it up. Ignore all the sexual references I would normally make, but it will fit into here. It comes with 1,000 milliamp one right here that I may try down the road. What I did know that it came with is this cool little 3D printed cover thing for the face, and it does have a lens on it, so it is a lens protector. For now, I'm going to use it without an ND filter, see how it does. I could make a whole video on that just based on the flying that I do and where we do is probably one of the most challenging lighting conditions humanly possible, because in the forest, in between the trees where it's dark, but then you got a lot of light coming out of the woods from the sky, or if we pop out over the canopy, and then setting things is such a pain in the ass. So I've kind of gone with the theory to leave it on auto, set like the ISO, so the maximum light it'll intake. I'll lower that down a bit, and then a lot of the changing I do is in post and editing, where if I go in from a spot and then come up and I'm going into the sun where it darkens the ground and stuff to allow you to see the sky, I go in and I change. I put it's a transition, but it's not transitioning anything other than the color, not, clip to clip. Same clip, just, sorry, I'm picking up at the same time. Adjusting the colors and stuff like that to keep it as good as possible. But I've been going that route and finding it easier than trying to screw with the settings, and I may do an ND filter down the road. We'll see. We'll see, because I usually fly at a slower pace, so the ND filter making that motion blur, which it doesn't, I'm not in for that. It's good. We'll just leave it at that. But I gotta finish packing. I am 15 shades of tired. Still gotta get all the stuff in there. Charging that battery. Got a backup battery going on over there. All kinds of fun. But as for this, you're going to see a lot more of that. And in the testing, I reviewed the flight footage. It only has Rocksteady. It does not have Horizon Lock. That would have been cool, because that's what I use with the Avata. That's kind of my cinematic thing. So it's going to force me to even more probably tune this and get it where I need to be. Because I don't, if I'm making a cinematic shot, depending on that shot, I like a straight horizon. But if you're coming down and diving something, that also could be cinematic. So I may be onto something with it. But I'm going to finish packing, and I'm going to do some videos tomorrow. I've kind of changed my stance on how I'm doing my videos when we go out somewhere. Not necessarily the trip to getting there, because there's a million of those out there. It's kind of the same, laughing, giggling, boob jokes, all that thing. Just showing you parts of the place that we go, and then adding some clips in, and then doing my edits and stuff. So, flylens 85 03 air unit. Gonna rock it tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You'll see me soon.